Hello, Dr. Stephen Vogt here with Acteon and their new AIS 3D app, and I want to showcase some of the newest enhancements when it comes to surgical guide design with dental implants. And so without further ado, we have our patient loaded up here. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to bring in the patient's anatomy, and that comes from an intraoral scan. So if you have an intraoral scan in your office, you simply export that file, and here's my file for this patient. We're going to go ahead and hit Assisted and allow the software to go ahead and align this for us. So the software thinks for a little bit, aligning the CBCT rendering to the intraoral scan, and there we can see it's a nice alignment. Go ahead and hit Apply. We're going to go ahead and then draw our panoramic curve for the maxilla to allow us to more easily navigate in treatment plan. You can see here that we have a nice lateral sinus lift that is healed on this patient, and it's time to place the implant. So we go ahead, scroll over to that site, we add number 14. We have a 5x10 implant, and we're going to go ahead and just make sure we like the position of the implant, the angulation, make sure it's parallel to the contacts, etc. We can even double check based on the 3D app. We'll hit Apply. Okay, so we like the angle, we like the depth, and the position. We're going to go ahead down to Guide Design, and we're going to allow the software to know how we want to seat the guide, so the path of draw for the guide, and it generates an undercut model. And based on this model, we can tell it exactly where we want the guide to rest, the margins of the guide. Generally, I go not over the distal most tooth, but over the top of the marginal ridge and to roughly the contralateral canine. And so we'll go ahead and tell it to go ahead and create the guide here. It's going to go ahead and fabricate a guide, including the sleeve that's custom for that implant line that we chose. And we can do minor editing things, to make things a little bit more, smooth. For instance, up here, make sure I don't have any rough spots that are going to bother the patient's tongue or get in the way. So we can do a little bit of smoothing. And then another thing I like to do is add some windows. So we'll go ahead and add some windows for visualization. So the day of surgery, we'll have these windows that will allow us to make sure that the guide is fully seated. And we'll go ahead and hit Next, and we are ready to export the guide. And so we'll export this yellow guide model, 3D print it, or send it to our lab, and we'll utilize it in surgery at the next appointment. Thank you.